and that are funny. It's it's the acceptance of all of that, and we need to start kind of changing norms.
Well, we used to have morals and values in this country, and you used to be taught morals and values in your home. You know, this is morally wrong. This is not right to do, honey. This is, you know, tell your child, you know, that's just morally wrong. And your values, you need to have stronger values of the way you look at things and the way you deal with people, and the way you look at your girlfriend or your mate or whatever.
It's
And
about respect.
It's about respect, and I don't know what happened to that word respect and morals and values. What happened to those words?
Well, and we are, you know, we're starting. We know that domestic violence in particular is a cycle. So
Yes. Yes.
so many of our kids that grow up in violent homes,
Yeah.
it is a major risk factor in continuing that cycle of your own, whether you
Yes.
continue on as an abuser or continue on as a victim, because this is what you've learned is your norm.
It's
So
just norm.
so we need to change that norm for kids in their
Right.
homes. So I know at Alexandra House we work with our youth as well. I mean, we are in schools. We are in 4
Thank
school
the Lord.
districts.
Thank God for that.
And so
Do
sadly,
they really let you go in and talk to these kids? I mean, can you go in and tell them that domestic violence and about that and what it's like, what it looks like?
we've had advocates. I mean, we've had our advocates in 4 school districts since the early to mid '90s. We offer that one-on-one we call it intervention, where you're really working with kids who are, and it's high schools
A
primarily.
child that's acting out and
Nope, it's actually
No?
kids who are either in a dating relationship where it's violent. These
Right,
are, you know,
dating.
high schoolers who are in a violent relationship. 16 to 24 is the age where it's the largest number of percentages of dating domestic violence victims.
Wow, really?
16 to 24. I mean,
Really?
really. So, which
16.
Oh, yes, yes. So we need to be in there.
Amanda.
We are in high schools doing that intervention work with kids who are in unhealthy homes or in violent relationships, where we're actually providing one-on-one advocacy and support to them.
Oh, thank God. That's great.
We go into classrooms in the high schools and talk about healthy relationships
Oh,
and
yeah,
dating violence
people
and
need
what's
to
acceptable
know.
and what's not.
See, that's good.
We're in middle schools as well, doing
Oh,
more of
that's
that
wonderful. I love to hear you're
that
doing this.
it's the prevention. That's the prevention side. The getting, you know, the middle school work is really talking to kids about. We use a program called Choose Respect, and it's about choosing respect in all of your relationships, and how not to be a bystander, or
Right.
and how
Just
how do you choose respect in a relationship? What is a respectful way to treat you as my friend? What is a respectful way to treat you as my potential partner?
right, exactly.
Kind
Right.
of
That's
talking to
good.
kids as they're really starting to get into those relationships. So there are some serious risk factors in being a kid raised in a violent home, and part of that is entering into a violent relationship.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they think it's normal.
drug use, PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at our the incarcerated juveniles in you know facilities throughout the state,
Yeah.
violence in their early life is extremely common.
Is it?
I mean,
It's common.
so it has a domestic violence in the home has a long, impactful
Whole way
effect
through their
on
life.
not only that person's life, but on society, because you're taking that person and what's the impact on society of them being incarcerated, not being able to finish school or go to college or work, or the healthcare costs that
Oh,
a
yes.
victim has to the system, but also to her employer or to
Exactly.
our community. So
It affects everyone.
it affects everybody.
I mean, it affects, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, that'll never affect my daughter, or that'll never happen to my granddaughter, or that'll never happen to my grandson. Yeah, it will.
Well,
It could.
I mean,
It's out there, the sexual,
about 1 in 6 women will be raped in her lifetime.
yeah,
One
tell
in
them that.
1 in 4 girls will be sexually assaulted before the age of 18. 1 in 6 boys.
You hearing this?
1 in 6 boys will be sexually assaulted by the time they're 18.
Exactly.
So between, sadly, domestic violence and sexual assault, and often they can go hand in hand. They don't have to.
No.
But oftentimes their
I
domestic
think
violence.
it does go.
Oftentimes, their domestic violence victims have been sexually assaulted because it's part of the abuse in the toolbox that their perpetrator or offender uses towards them. sexual assault, I mean, I think you probably know this, but
Yes.
80% of sexual assaults, the victim knows their offender.
Offender,
I
yes.
think, when I grew up, you were worried about the
Neighbor,
well, for me it was
yeah,
like the
stranger down the street.
the stranger who was going to come take you,
Right,
which
yeah.
happens, but
Very seldom.
That's you. It's really
It's somebody you know in the
80%
family.
are known offenders.
Yeah.
So sexual assault is an extremely underreported crime.
Yes, it is, because it's all kept in the family.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they'll not say anything to anybody, or they won't report it, or nobody hears about
And
it.
there's so much shame. There's
So
so much
shame.
shame that that victim somehow
Yes.
could have prevented
Yes.
this when it wasn't. It was something that was done to them. It wasn't something that they asked for.
No.
Even as a
Heavens no.
but even as a society, we blame victims all the time. We tell them it's their fault. We ask them,
Oh,
well,
why did you wear that
why
outfit?
did you wear that? Why were you out so late?
Why were
If
you
you
out
weren't at
there
the club
late?
at 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
this wouldn't.
That wouldn't happen. That's not
That's
so.
all victim blaming, and that takes
Instead of taking the blame and putting it on the perpetrator, they put it on the poor victim.
And it's if
Just like
if
they
that-
arrest prostitutes instead of arresting Johns and pimps.
and yep, we talked with it starting to get a little bit better, especially with our youth,
Goodness, thank
who are prostituted victims. Where now, if they're the safe harbor law, with their
Oh
under,
yeah, we got that pass. I was there when
Yep.
that passed. I was
When-
right in that room.
so girls that are under 18,
Yeah.
and who are prostituted are
Right.
treated as victims,
Victims,
and
thank
not as
goodness
an
for
offenders.
that.
Absolutely. I mean, the average entry age of prostitution, you know it,
It's 12, right? 13?
between 12 to 14.
12
yes.
to 14, yeah.
So,
Do you guys hear that? 12 to 14?
and why does that look like an option for a 12-year to 14-year-old? What makes that? What has been going on at home that
Yeah,
makes
something's gone on at home before. In other words, were they molested as
Were they
children?
sexually
abused at home?
sexually abused at home, domestic violence,
Right,
sexual assault? So,
seeing their mother beat, maybe, who knows?
so we
all
need
these,
programs that
Yes.
both can work with offenders and
Yes.
try and help them, stop. It's years of counseling to
Counseling.
actually, and it's got to be a conscious choice. A recognition of the behavior that you did
Okay.
was wrong as an offender. A recognition that
so they have to realize that it was wrong.
was wrong, and years of counseling to change. You have to. You have to recognize that that's a problem. So that's needed, and then just the general acceptance in society. And then you
Right.
need safety nets. We refer to us as our programs like
Yeah.
ours as safety nets, but
you're-
some
you-
place for victims to have a voice and to have somebody help
Go.
them and to go.
get help.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I wish I'd had someplace to go when I was a kid. But there is now, and that's what's most important. Is right now there's help for children, for all of the abuse that's going on. There's a lot of advocacy groups and wonderful organizations like the Alexandria House.
Absolutely. And-
That's a wonderful thing.
And we talked a lot about the shelter
Right.
and women needing shelter, but oftentimes I think what people don't know is, you say, well, I don't need to go to a shelter, like
Right.
but I need a protection order. I'm not safe here. How can
Yeah,
I get
and a
any
piece of
legal
paper isn't
assistance?
giving you,
But you have to do it.
You have to do it.
You need to get that.
legal paper.
No, does it stop? I hate to say it, does it stop someone? But it gives you a legal protection and recourse. And the system, at least in Anoka County, we are
Right.
really working with law enforcement and the county attorney's office and all of our
Good.
jurisdictions to really work
Good.
together to really get out there and stop some of these, especially high risk offenders. But women who need a protection order can call their local program. They can call us, and we can
Okay.
refer them if it's not us. But orders for
You don't have to worry about anybody telling anybody.
Oh no, everything's confidential,
Pardon me.
completely confidential.
Completely,
You
yes.
can call and not leave your name and just get some
Right.
information to start.
That's right.
But we do not share that. We are mandated reporters in cases of child abuse
Yes,
and
right.
some other instances. But protection orders for protection are free. So
Yes.
that doesn't cost anything for
No.
the victim to be protected.
And that's important.
Programs like ours, we will write that order for you. We will go to court on your behalf and go with you.
That's
We cannot.
so fabulous.
There's some attorneys that we can provide representation for that victim in cases where that's needed.
What
So
if they don't have any money for an attorney?
no, the
do they-
attorneys would be free. So,
Okay, good.
we are a nonprofit, and so
they-
we don't have a ton of money, but
Yeah, right.
we have a little pool every year of, but we have attorneys that we can provide free of
Okay,
charge to help you
good.
if you have a contested
right,
order for
right.
protection hearing. But there are legal actions that you can take to protect
You have to
yourself,
protect yourself.
you need to protect yourself,
Yes.
and we can help you kind of walk through that
Yeah,
process.
That's wonderful. God love you for having such a wonderful organization as this. Isn't it wonderful?
It's not me. I love working there, but
I
it's this group of yes. It is.
You are part of this group that
It's this great
reaching out and
yes.
helping and educating. I mean, this is so important.
It's a lot of caring people, men and women, volunteers, staff that
Yes, it's
and
so many of you.
community for us that have said this is an issue for us that we choose to address.
Yes.
And
I choose to address it also.
it is a public
Every
health
day.
and public safety
Yes.
and
Yes.
issue, and
Yes, it is. It's a big issue.
and it has to be addressed.
And by the way, we were just talking. I just want to throw this in. The tiaras and the, what's it called? Toddlers and tiaras.
Yes.
I wish that all of us would get together and sign a petition to stop that show. Because I don't know what people think, but I think being abused as a little girl of 3 till I was 9 by a pedophile, I think that is basically having it's like a porno flick for pedophiles. Sorry, that's what I think. You know me, I tell it like it is. That's how I tell it, like it is, how I see it.
I think the media, print media, television media, has a responsibility, editors,
should have
publishers, in
responsibility.
how we're portraying women and children in general.
In general.
I mean, I think if you flip through your magazine and even look at, we look at the size of women and what are we saying about,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it starts there. What is,
It's- yeah.
I think that,
You're right. It does.
so you're really looking at, the sexualization often in the media of children.
Right.
And
It's so disgusting. I'm an older woman, and I can't even believe that this is happening.
there's a great documentary out there called Misrepresentation. And if you haven't seen it, Jane, I think you would really enjoy it.
I'm going to get that. Write that down, you guys.
Misrepresentation. And it's a really excellent film, about an hour and a half long, that looks at and really gives you good examples of the media's portrayal of women in society, but especially in the media.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would like it.
I will love it. We all should get that. Make sure you get that. It's called Misrepresentation.
Misrepresentation.
Okay, I think my time's probably getting up there, and what we should need to do is we should make sure that your organization will have it. She'll have it on the hotline
Absolutely.
on the show. We'll present all the information will be out there for you.
Great.
And I want to appreciate you coming so much.
Well, I appreciate you having me. So.
And I hope to God we can make a difference.
I hope so too.
Let's hope, honey, because we're working hard at it.
And I would just encourage anybody that wants more information, they can check out our website, which
Yes.
has tons of information for both
Yes, it does.
community members, how you can help, how you can volunteer, how you can donate,
Yes.
how you can get help as a victim. We have tons of information out there. You can find us on Facebook and have a
Yes.
conversation, ongoing conversation with us.
That's right.
You can
on
come to our
Facebook.
walk and either
come
run
to the walk.
either run 5 miles or
Yeah, sure.
or a 5K or it's a 5K.
I'm getting ready here. Look out.
Or walk for 2 miles, or just come and be inspired. It's a great fun day.
I'm going to come out there.
I would love to see you there.
I'm going to come out in my motorized scooter. No.
You can bring it. Perfect.
Booking along.
Perfect.
So what? At least I'll be there, right?
Absolutely.
If you want to see me, come out to the, what's
It's called the
park?
Walk for Hope, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Saturday, September 29th at Bunker Hills Regional Park.
Bunker Hills
Coon
Regional
Rapids,
Park in Coon Rapids.
And you can register on our website.
And we'll register on their website. So don't forget. come out to that, and I will see you soon. Enjoyable conversations with your loved ones.